All right, what's up, everyone? This is a new episode of Sports Harder, and we are excited for this new episode. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of baseball stuff, some NFL news, and just a lot of stuff to cover. It's been a little while, so we're back better, ready to rumble in the jungle. As always, I am your host, Maddie Lukewarm Ice, and my co-host for the evening is Chris the Gorilla Binder.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Alrighty, well, we're just gonna jump right into it and start going over some of these topics that have been going down here lately. So let's start off with some baseball. We'll start off with the bad news first. So the Washington Nationals game the other day postponed because of uh, gunshots just outside of the stadium. They had in Nationals Park, and they had the fans stay inside the stadium until things cleared up, and then they canceled the game. They postponed it, and then had the fans depart out of a different exit after that. From what I read in the reports, originally they said four people were shot and injured, and now it's changed to three people shot and injured. Um, you know, I don't know what to say when it comes to that other than, is this just the route that the way that things are going to go now that COVID's going down and more fans are like coming out, or was this just just like a random thing?
Uh, COVID's been fans have been coming out for a while now, like a couple months, and this hasn't happened. It could be the stir crazy thing, but I really think it's just, I think it's a one off. I really do. I like I really liked how they handled the situation. Like they had the fans just kind of like get down in their seats. They even pulled the people that were up in the nosebleeds down towards the field. They got all the players off the field and into the locker rooms. They had some people come down on the field just to make sure that everybody was safe. So I really like how they jumped to action with everything. But I really think this is a one off. I don't know though. Like it really could be the people like just getting stir crazy and finally being able to get out. But either way, it's sad. Like to see this at like sporting events, but I mean we see shootings all the time, like movie theaters, nightclubs, sporting events, concerts. So it's
Yeah,
it's sad, but
yeah. Unfortunately, the part of uh just everyday life, unfortunately. Now it's sad to say that that's part of it, but it is. So I haven't seen too much in the report of the reason why. I don't think it was like a fan versus a fan. I think it was just people that were outside of the stadium. I think one of them was a worker, someone who worked there. I know that, but other than that, I'm not sure too much on the details about it. So
I
um,
think I released a lot about it. So
yeah. So, but on a lighter and better note, the home run derby was recently going on, and the All-Star game, and the final two was my good old Baltimore Orioles Trey Mancini getting into the finals versus the Mets star player Alonso. Is that his name?
yeah,
Yeah, and Alonso, he was the winner last time they had it. They didn't have it last year because of the COVID stuff, but the year before that, he was the winner. So technically, he's back to back champion for the home run derby. I bet you know who's won it three times. There's only been one person to win it three times. And you probably know who it is.
that'd be Griffey.
Yeah, Griffey. He's
Yeah.
the only player to win it three times. So we'll see if he comes back next year and tries to win it for a third time. Um, but yeah, Griffey's the only one to win it three times. Um,
Speaking of Griffey, I saw a funny thing. I was talking about Shohei Otani, and
oh,
somebody commented like it was one of the broadcasters was like, he has the smoothest left-handed swing I've ever seen. And Griffey actually tweeted and was like, did y'all forget about me or something?
Oh, nice. At least he was watching it. He was just like, "Hey, what about me?"
Yeah.
That's too funny. Yeah, Otani, that was interesting because he went against Juan Soto of the Nationals, and they tied with their home runs, and they went into the overtime or whatever you want to call it. They tied again, and then they had to have a 3-pitch swing off, and Juan Soto ended up winning it because he hit all 3 pitches as a home. It was a home run, so he made it kind of hard for Otani to be able to do that. Speaking of him as well, there was the guy. What's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? The announcer on First Take, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith had mentioned that Otani cannot be the face of Major League Baseball because of him being Asian, and that he needs an interpreter whenever he's being interviewed. And he got so much backlash from making that statement and saying that he would never be the face of Major League Baseball. He said he was a great player and that transcendent because he's pitching and hitting on another level. But he said that he couldn't be the face of Major League Baseball. The very next day, he got on First Take and apologized and said that that was not his intentions to make fun of Asians at all or to be racist because he's said loads of things about the racism for African Americans with everything that's going on in the country for that. So he said he supports that, so he would never make a racist comment about Asians on purpose. Do you think it was taken out of context, or was he not being racist? But I mean, he was kind of being mean. I mean, saying that he couldn't be the face of Major League Baseball because he had an interpreter for interviews.
No, see, that's kind of messed up because, like, right now, the face of baseball is Fernando Tatis. And
True.
he don't speak a word of English. Like, he has interpreters. So I mean, to me, Stephen A. Smith is racist. Like, it just kind of showed finally. Like, I mean, the dude's made comments when Adam Silver took over for David Stern for the NBA commissioner. Like, he made comments. He's like, oh, great, another white guy in a black man's sport. Like, why don't we have a black man be the commissioner? Why don't you put somebody in there that's black? Like, he's racist when it's convenient for him. Like, I have no respect for Stephen A. Smith. I haven't for a very long time. Like, yeah, the dude knows sports. The dude he's really good when he's arguing sports, but as soon as it's political, like anything political, he immediately jumps to racist comments. Like, and he does it constantly. Like, I can't even watch him anymore because of that. So yeah, I don't think it was taken out of context. I think he said it and then got in trouble for saying it because he got fined for it. He got fined for saying that. And I think because of that, he was told to issue an apology or he'd lose his job.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that was definitely the case for it. For Stephen A. Smith, I mean, I've never really liked him in the sense of how he presents himself. Seems like he's always yelling about everything. Like anytime he's like making an argument, he has to like raise his voice and like get all like flustered about it. And like I I just feel like it's put on now. At first, maybe it was like, natural, but now he's known for it that I feel like every time he speaks, he just feels like, well, I have to act this way because this is what I'm known for. And now it's kind of run its course, at least for me. I'm not into sitting there listening to someone yell their opinion. Like, even if no one's arguing with him, he still like gets all flustered and angry about it. So yeah, I've never been a big fan of Stephen A. Smith. So, but he
Well,
definitely backtracked super fast and made an apology. So to me, I don't think it matters if you can speak English well or not to be the face of a sport. I think as long as you play really well on the field, people are going to watch, people are going to buy the jerseys, people are going to get into the hype, they'll put them on Sports Center. They don't have to speak English to show Otani hitting a home run on Sports Center.
Right?
And like you said right now, Tatis, is that how you say his last
Yeah,
name?
Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, right now he is, like you said, he is the face. I mean, they're really pushing him. That's all you ever see on ESPN and Fox Sports. Like they're always showing his highlights. There's always something about him. So yeah, right now he's kind of the hot ticket. So
No, it's just see my frustration with Stephen A. Smith is he acts like baseball is an American sport. Yes, it's the American pastime, but baseball's worldwide. It's as big, if not bigger, than soccer worldwide. Like NFL, not so big. It's big in the US, not everywhere else.
yeah,
Football is not big everywhere else. It's more rugby worldwide than it is football. Basketball is getting bigger worldwide, but it's nowhere on the level that baseball is. And I don't know, for him, it's just ignorant for him to just say, well, you're in America, speak English. You want to be the face, speak English. Like, dude, shut up. Like, that's a stupid argument that old people have made for years, and it's just a racist comment, is all it is. Like, I respect the hell out of anybody that can play baseball because you watch 45 feet, they have to hit 100-mile-an-hour fastball. They have like a tenth of a second faster than the blink of an eye to react to a ball and where it's going to be able to hit it.
yeah,
Yeah, Otani is doing stuff that Babe Ruth did. Nobody's done it since.
and pitching really well too.
Yeah, he's got like a sub-2 ERA. He's tied for the league high with Fernando Tatis for most home runs going into the All-Star break. Like, holy crap, the dude's hitting almost 400. He's hitting what, 320, 330? I think
Uh,
something in there.
yeah, it's
Like,
probably somewhere around there. Yeah,
he is a transcendent athlete for baseball. It is ridiculous how good he is. And people aren't realizing, like, if he doesn't get MVP this year, then it's a shot. The only way that I don't see him getting MVP is honestly if he gets injured and he misses the rest of the season.
or
That's
they
it.
give it to Tatis.
Yeah. Speaking of Tatis, did you see the Padres Reds game?
No.
Like, it was right after, right before. I think it was right after the All-Star break. Like, after that, um, the Padres beat the Reds 24-8.
Gosh.
It was like a football game. They're
Oh
just
no, that
winning.
was the Nationals,
Was
not
that
the
the
Reds.
Nationals that they
Yeah,
beat?
yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the Reds.
Because I remember because I get the Nationals like score updates. So like when it sent me the final score and it was like 24-8, I was just like, are we playing or football? Like what's going on? Is this baseball? Like this is not a baseball score. Like not at all. Like in
I had
the
a buddy make a comment on it and go, "Yeah, it was the Nationals." He's like, "Well, it's good that the Nationals went for 2 after their touchdown."
That's true. Very true. Oh, I love it. Well, with the home run derby being over, the All-Star game is over. Let's take a look at the standings right now, real quick, and see how things are going. So, the American League East, right now, the Red Sox are up in first place, but they're only a half a game ahead of the Tampa Bay Rays. But it's kind of the Rays and the Red Sox right now, which is kind of crazy because the Blue Jays are 6 games back, the Yankees are 7 games back, and then the Orioles, of course, my poor Orioles are 25 games back.
Good Lord.
Yes, I mean
They are the
it is
worst
what it
team in
is.
the AL.
Our shining moment was Trey Mancini making it to the finals. I was really hoping he could win it, but Alonso is not human. Like, he barely even broke a sweat. Like, he didn't even look tired. Like, Trey Mancini got done in that third round, and he looked so exhausted. And, like, Alonso was, like, sitting there, like, dancing, like, flexing, like, getting the crowd into it. I was like, what? He hit, like, 38 home runs in the first round. And
35.
then, yeah, and then the second round, like, he only had to get, like,
16.
yeah, I was gonna
What do you
say
think?
it was like 15 or 16 to beat whoever he beat because he went second.
Yeah,
And
and he
then
did that in like a minute.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
he didn't need the extra time, or he did it like a minute. Just
Yep, exactly. So that dude's ridiculous when it comes to home run derbies. So, but
No, I
anyways,
laughed. I laughed really quick. I just want to bring it up. I was watching him hit in the finals because I was bowling nationals and stuff. No, was I? Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, so I was watching him hit, and yeah, I was in Vegas. So I was watching him hit. One of my buddies actually had gone at the beginning before they even played and put $100 on him in Vegas to win. And
nice.
he made like 12. It was like a 12-1 odd that he won, and he ended up winning. So he won $1,200. But no, when I was watching the final round, he's just hitting like one after the other, and then all of a sudden, the guy that is pitching to him hits him with a pitch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like legit hit him in the shoulder, and he just kind of like stepped back, hit like four more in a row. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
right. Yeah, that dude is just inhuman when it comes to home run derbies. And I guess like they were interviewing him after the first round and they said, "Hey, like what's your secret to like how do you not get tired? You know, how do you do so well?" And he told the reporter, no joke, he said, "I'm not going to tell you because then everybody else will do it." I was like, well, he's got a point, I guess. Like, you don't want to give away your secret if you know it's working for you. So, you
Right?
know, that makes sense. Um, so the Red Sox and the Rays trying to duke it out for first place. It looks like everybody else is kind of left behind. In the Central, the Chicago White Sox are 8 games ahead of the Indians. Whew. 14 games ahead of Toronto, 17 games ahead of the Twins, and 19 games ahead of the Royals.
It's not
Um,
Toronto, but that's Detroit.
what's up?
Not Toronto, Detroit.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Travis.
I don't know why I said that. So yeah, anyways, but either way, it seems like the White Sox kind of have that locked in pretty well. They're ahead of everybody. In the West, the Astros are in first place. They are 3.5 games ahead of the A's, so that could
Cheaters.
easily be made up, huh?
Cheaters.
I know, right? I think it's going to take a long time before they get out of that stigma, that mantra. I think it's going to be until most of the players that were on that team leave, and then they can start, saying something. Your Seattle Mariners are 6 games back. Um,
They're above 500. I'm happy.
hey, there you go, man. They could sneak in, maybe try to get into a wild card or something. Um, the Angels are 9 games back, and
Are they doing
then
2 wild cards this year, or is it still just one?
I can't remember if they're doing the same rules as they did last year. I think they are, because it'd be very odd if they changed it after 1 year of doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's probably the same as it was last year.
Because right
Um,
now we're sitting in third place for the wild card. So the Mariners are
oh, there you go.
behind the Rays and the Athletics.
So right now it seems like the teams to kind of look out for would be the White Sox and the Red Sox. So the two different colored socks. um, and then the National League in the East, the New York Mets are 2 games ahead of the Phillies. Atlanta is 4 games back. The Nationals are 6 games back, and the Marlins are 9.5 games back. So really, 2, 4, and 6 games, that's not that much when it comes to baseball. So, if the Mets go on like a losing streak or something, either of those other teams could easily jump up and, take the spot. So,
Yeah.
But I tell you what, Mets fans are probably going crazy right now because it's been a long time since they've had a team, that can do something and win the division. So, and then in the Central, the Milwaukee Brewers are actually in first place. The Reds are 7 games back. The Cubs are 9 games back. The Cardinals are 9 games back, and the good old Pittsburgh Pirates are 19 games back. Oof. So the Brewers, actually making a ruckus. How long has it been since we've been able to say the Brewers are doing, Milwaukee Brewers are doing something?
Right. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, I've had to refresh just to make sure that it's actually correct. Like, usually it's like the Cubs or the Cardinals are up there, and the Brewers are down with the Pirates. Like, this is weird.
Right? So they're doing something this year. In the West, uh the Giants, San Francisco Giants, are only 1 game ahead of the Dodgers. So actually really competitive against them and the Dodgers. The Padres are 5 games back. The Rockies are 18 games back. And the good old Arizona Diamondbacks are 32 and a half games back.
With the worst record in Major League Baseball.
Yay, the Orioles don't have the worst record.
Orioles have won 3 more games than the Diamondbacks have. But no, like the Padres being 5 games back in that, like it's actually pretty close. Like, you look at it, it's 58 and 34 to 55 and 41. Like,
Yeah.
it's still pretty close. It's only 3 wins difference.
And what is going to suck about that is one of those teams will miss out.
2 of them could. I don't know. Those are if they have the 2 this year, then the 2
It would be the Dodgers and the Padres.
yeah, they would be the 2 wild cards because nobody else is even close to them. Yeah, sorry, I fumbled over my words. I can't words today.
It's all good. Words are always, such a pain in the butt to have to make.
They're overrated.
So yeah, so it'll be interesting now that we're done with the All-Star stretch. We'll see how the rest of the teams can go for the rest of the season. Baseball is going to kind of be the main focal point until football comes rolling around again. So we got some fun stuff to talk about with football, which I'm excited about. There's some fun stuff to talk about, but let's talk about hockey real quick. So with hockey being over, the team I was thinking you would maybe root for, the Seattle Kraken, are now officially trying to sign their players, and the teams have put the names of the exempt ones that people are not allowed to take. And I'll do a shout out to one of my old co-hosts, David Short but not long. He messaged me the other day and he was like, I'm gonna do a prediction, a bold prediction. He said, I'm gonna say that Ovechkin goes to the Seattle Kraken. All right.
Is
And
he
he
not
said
one of the ones that they're holding on to?
his name is not on the list, and
Oh,
he is a free agent. And so the Capitals have been reported as having a handshake deal that will be happening, but nothing is like official yet for him to stay with the Capitals. And I was just thinking in my head, if you're gonna let go of a Hall of Famer, the guy that's the face of your franchise, the Capitals are not. gonna do much. I mean, that's your guy, that's your motivator, that's your leader, that's your captain. Like I would lose my mind if the Capitals lost him to the Kraken. Um,
Tell you
but
what, if he goes, I'll actually root for the Kraken instead of the Golden Knights.
oh, okay. Then you have some motivation to root for him, huh?
Yep.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, next time I see you, like next hockey season, I want to see the merch all over you, man. The hats, the shirts, like everything's all Seattle Kraken.
You want to see something crazy? I'm an OKC fan when it comes to basketball, right?
Hmm.
My wife got me to wear a Jazz shirt.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Gotta support the local team too. So that's good. But anyway, so we'll see how what the Kraken do, what players they're able to get from what teams. Um, do you feel that they can pull a Vegas Knights and make it to the Stanley Cup their first year of being a team?
Depending on who they get, honestly, all depends on who they get. Um, Probably not though.
That
It
I
is.
know, right?
It's Seattle.
That I mean, that was when Vegas did it their first year. I was just like blown away. I was just like, I can't believe they did that the first year of them being in existence. They make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. So very hard to do. I have to agree that I don't think they'll be able to make it in their first year. I think it'll take some time. So we'll see how that goes for them. Other news of the Stanley Cup: the Stanley Cup trophy getting dented and messed up by the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the team came out and was very upset, saying you can't blame us for the trophy getting like dented and getting like messed up, that it was because of the weather. They said the rain when they were like doing their parades and stuff like that had like messed it up. So how much do you think it was like drunken mishap, and how much is it true that it was like the weather that had like dented and destroyed it? Because I mean that's pretty disrespectful to destroy the Stanley Cup trophy.
Well, and aren't they the ones? Aren't isn't hockey one of the only ones that it's the same cup that gets passed around? They don't make a new cast for it every year like they do, like the Lombardi Trophy and all that stuff.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's the same one. I think.
Yeah. So I mean, that's disrespectful as hell because if you don't win next year, the next team now gets a dented trophy because you
Well,
were
I mean,
stupid with
they've
it.
fixed it. They've already fixed it.
Yeah, but still, like that damage is there. But my question is, how many teams have done it and not reported it?
That's that could be a possibility. Yeah. Um, I I don't know. I kind of lose a little bit of respect for the Lightning now after having the trophy dented, and it was up at the top, like where it like has the little like cup part. It got like dented in. There was like photos of them like holding it with it all like dented up. Um, and they've already sent it off and had it fixed, and they were going to send it back to the players after that. Because I mean, this is the only trophy that I know of as well that each player gets to keep it for like a week, I think,
Yeah.
and they can do whatever they want with it during that week. Um, so I mean, if all these years every player that's had it has been able to keep it like okay, then why. And this wasn't even like a single player like had it. This was like when they were celebrating and doing their parade on the water and stuff like that, like the Tampa Bay Bucks did. So yeah, not much I can say for the respect shown for the trophy from them. But it looks
Yeah.
like you were looking something up.
Yeah, I am. Not NHL, so
Oh,
something we'll discuss later. So
oh, all right, fair enough. Well,
just a little blip.
I think that's all that we have for NHL that I wanted to bring up. Just was, keep an eye out for the Kraken and the players that they take, and then Tampa Bay destroying the Stanley Cup. But alrighty, so I guess the next thing that we can move into is the NBA, with the NBA finals that have been going on. So the Suns take the first two games, and they took them at home, and it was a pretty dominating by the Suns, and they did such a great job. Then the series goes back to Milwaukee, and the Bucks take both of those games, and in both of those games, the Suns had a chance to win. And in Game 3, Chris Paul uh, fumbles the ball, he trips, fumbles the basketball, turns it over. The Bucks take it down and kind of seal the game. And and Chris Paul had 5 turnovers in that game. 5. That's like unacceptable. And then in that game, Booker had like 48 points or some outrageous score, but he fouled out. And so he got into foul trouble. He only scored 4 points in the fourth quarter because he was in foul trouble and they had to sit him out. So then in game 4, they give the ball to Booker this time with like 10 seconds left. They were only down by 1, so they only needed a 2 to win the game. He drives in, he goes up for the shot, hesitates, comes back down to try to pass it, and then Drew Holiday steals the ball from him, strips it out from him. They take it down the court again and then seal the game to an alley-oop to Giannis. It is there any way that the Suns can come back from now having 2 games taken from them that was within their grasp? Like, all they had to do was take the ball down the court and at least attempt a shot. Both times they don't even get a shot off. Chris Paul fumbles it, and then Booker gets it stolen. So too much pressure, like, too much, like, going on, or the Bucks defense is just that good. Like, the
No.
Bucks are 1 game away now from taking it all, so at home.
So I'll say honestly, like watching the end of that game, Booker didn't get that ball stolen. Like that should have been a jump ball at the very most, like at the best, if not a foul. Like Drew Holiday wrapped him up and then ripped the ball out, like grabbed his arm and then ripped the ball out. Like that's not a steal, man. That's a foul. Like Booker got fouled, and that should have put Booker on the line to shoot. Like Booker got slammed into the ground. Like, yeah, they alley oop to Giannis, and I honestly think like refs are leaning towards giving the Bucks the championship. I don't know why, but that game was actually pretty bad to watch. Like there was so many fouls that the Bucks were committing and getting away with. Like it was just, I don't want to say it's all reffing, but the 5th game was reffing. The other 2 games that they lost fair and square. Like they got beat down. But I don't know, the 5th game, man, that one kind of frustrated me just watching it because it was not a fair called game at all.
Yeah, I mean, with it being the finals, the refs do like to swallow their whistles, especially towards the end of the game, because they don't want to be the ones who decide the outcome, which that would have been. So a typical referee move of swallowing the whistle towards the end and just letting them play.
But then that same play, like he goes down, lobs it to freaking Giannis, and Chris Paul touches him. Doesn't touch his skin, touches his jersey, and they called a foul on the dunk.
Yeah,
Like Paul didn't change his direction. He didn't foul him at all, but they didn't call the foul on Booker.
yeah,
Like that was kind of where I was like, what the hell? Like If you're going to swallow your whistle on one end, swallow it on the other end as well. Like it's not a fair called game at all. That game was not fairly called.
Yeah.
But
So
I will say that the Suns were stupid because what was it? It was the second quarter. They were up by like 21 points and going to halftime tied.
yeah, yeah. Well, so I mean, with that, like I said, the momentum is kind of with the Bucks right now. The Bucks have won 3 straight. They need this last one at home. Is there any hope for the Suns to win a road game and then have to win at home again?
I think it's done. Honestly, I was rooting for the Suns to win it just because finally get Chris Paul his ring so the dude will retire.
Yeah,
But I think it's over. I think they're gonna blow out the Suns in the next game. I don't even think it's gonna be a game. I think it's gonna be like a 120 to 101 game or something like that.
yeah. Well, I know they're giving a lot of props to Giannis, obviously, but I feel like it's more a Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday show, and they're putting the team on their back. And yes, Giannis is, he does his thing, but the guy can't hit a jumper to save his life. Like it's bad when he takes a 3-point shot and the announcer says, "Giannis, what are you doing?" Like that's when like he's lost everything that he used to be. He's basically a Shaquille O'Neal. Like, I'm driving to the hoop, I'm a big dude, like I will run into you, get fouled, and get the shot. I know he's not good at taking his foul shots either, really, but even if he makes 1 out of 2, you know that's still getting points. So I just don't see how the Suns can stop someone like Giannis when all he does is just charge to the hoop. Like, and if you're not getting charged calls, then like what are you supposed to do? You stand in front of them to take the charge, and then they call a foul on you.
Yeah.
So like there's no stopping something like that. And I think I hate how the NBA has gotten like that, where all you have to do is just drive to the hoop and you're going to get a foul call. Like, you know, and the Suns don't have any big men that can stop Giannis when he drives to the hoop. So, and they've been setting that pick and roll for Militant and Drew Holiday with Giannis, and Drew Holiday and Militant have been coming in clutch. They've been hitting the shots every time. So, when Drew Holiday and Militant are scoring 30 points a game, that's kind of hard to stop.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Middleton right now, I just looked up his stats. He's just under 26 points a game, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and he's shooting 45% from the field. Like
yeah.
he's kind of killing it. But I will say, like, I actually put money on him just for shits and giggles in Vegas. It was after the second game. It was right before the third game started. He was 1,000 to 1 to win the Finals MVP.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I put $10 down. I'm like, screw it. So if he gets MVP, that's like 10 grand, dude. Like, I'll jump all over that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn. Well,
and now he's like I think 20 to 1. So his odds have changed. But when I put in, it was 1,000 to 1.
gosh. Well, yeah. Well, that's when you have a supporting cast like that. That's what you need to be able to win. They showed a stat where like Giannis is like scoring 60% from the field. And I hate that. I'm just like, well, yeah, it's easy to score 60% from the field when all you do is dunk the ball. When you're a foot away from the basket and all you have to do is just like that, like, yeah, you're gonna shoot 60%. Like, and they compared that percentage to Shaquille O'Neal when he was in the finals. So like him, like Shaq and Giannis are the only 2 guys to shoot 60% like in the field in the finals. And I'm just like, well, yeah, like, did Shaquille O'Neal ever do anything but stand under the hoop and score as well. So I mean, I don't know. I hate when they show that stat like he's some shooting machine, like he's scoring, all these points. I'm just like, no, like
And 90, I think it's like 90% of his points are in the paint. What's really funny is him and Shaq. Another comparison is their free throw shooting is pretty close to the same.
yes, that is very true. Uh, and he used to be good at it. I just don't know what happened. Like when he was the MVP, like he was shooting all over the place. Like you don't win MVP just by sitting there scoring in the paint all the time. So
Well,
like,
Shaq did.
well, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I don't know. It just he didn't when uh when Giannis won the MVP like a couple years ago, it was not for dunking the ball all the time and shooting in the paint. So I just don't know where it went. It just baffles me that all of a sudden now he can't shoot a shot to save his life.
He doesn't practice it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's the only thing. Well, I had high hopes for the Suns as well. I was really rooting for them too. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the Bucks will close it out at home. It, unless they can find a way to slow down Drew Holiday or Middleton. So
Middleton,
yeah, so
like not left, not right, but middle.
yeah, if they can find a way to slow them two down, like even if Giannis scores 40 points, who cares as long as they can stop Drew Holiday and Middleton, then they'll have a better shot. But yeah, I'm not having any good thoughts about about them going into that.
So then I have a question to throw out to you. Um, who, looking at where the Bucks are, looking at where the Pelicans are, who won that trade with Drew Holiday?
Yeah, I wonder. I
100%
wonder
the Bucks.
who. Oh my goodness. And I know it's hard for the Suns too, just because um they had some big men that got injured, and they could have guarded Giannis, a little bit better if they would have had some of their big men that got injured. So the Suns, are a little bit of a disadvantage because of that as well. So um, their one big guy got injured like in the Western Conference Finals, I think it was. It was like in the last game, so he wasn't even ready for the finals.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with the NBA. So NBA will shortly be done as well, and like I said, it's going to be all focused on baseball, and then slowly getting into football here pretty soon. So some news in the NFL. Let's start off first with um, uh, gosh, why am I blanking on his name right now? Richard Sherman. So Richard Sherman being arrested, and he was denied bail, but then I think that changed and he was finally allowed to have bail. It was going to be a felony charge. I know it was for breaking and entering and like uh, domestic abuse, and I guess they said when the police showed up, he was very intoxicated. Um, this may be, I guess, I don't know, a stereotype, but I took Richard Sherman being from Stanford and graduating with like a very high GPA. Like he's a very smart individual. So I never, and he speaks very well when he interviews. In no way did I ever expect this to ever happen to someone like him. And like I said, it may just be a stereotype of me thinking of, him being a Stafford graduate. And like I said, all the accolades he has and him speaking out on, so many things all the time. He did come out with an apology, of course, and said that he will get the help that he needs. Um, were you just as surprised as I was, or not as much?
I thought it was fake. Like when I saw the first thing, I was like, no, not Richard Sherman. Like the dude's eloquent, the dude's intelligent. Like, he's always been a class act. Like, yeah, he talks crap on the field, and he talked crap on Michael Crabtree. Don't let that sorry ass receiver come at me. Like, I mean, that's part of the game, though. That's part of sports. That's part of competition. Is you're going to talk crap to your opponents. That's just what you do. But I didn't expect that from him. Maybe Earl Thomas.
Oh my
Just
goodness!
playing.
Of course, let's throw
But
that out there.
right, no, but seriously, like when it first popped up, like it popped up, and I was like, no, they got something wrong. And then it was all over everything, and like the video popped up, and I was like, holy crap! And all it was he was trying to get into his in-laws' house because he was arguing with his wife, and he was drunk. But that's what it was. That's why they kind of dropped the burglary charge down to a misdemeanor, because really, it became the state prosecuting rather than his in-laws prosecuting. Like they said, it was a mistake. We're not gonna press charges, but the state decided to press charges anyway because of the video and all that stuff. And um, the judge actually released him on his own recognizance. Didn't tell him, don't leave the state, don't do this, but make sure you're here for court. And yeah, I mean, he's going to get the help that he needs. Like he's obviously got some depression stuff going on right now, um, just because he decided to wait till after the draft to go to a team that wasn't cornerback heavy. He wanted to continue to be a starter, and now nobody's even looking at him or bringing him in for a tryout. And it's like, that's got to affect him because he was once the premier lockdown corner. And I mean, it's got to affect him now. He's what, 34, 35?
Yeah, he's getting up there in age, and like you said, this incident kind of now, in a way, seals his fate. I have a hard time seeing a team trying to come and get him now with his age, and then with this happening, people are not going to want the publicity from it. So I find it very unlikely that a team will take him now because of everything.
Yeah, I don't see him getting signed either. Mostly because like what he would bring to the team is veteran leadership
Yeah.
and positive, like a positive role model. But how can he be a positive role model if he's got a domestic violence on him now?
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
true. So, yeah, and it looks like from what I see on ESPN, they were saying he's pleading not guilty to 5 misdemeanor charges. So, um,
Well, it's because they're not pressing charges, so he's going to plead not guilty, even though there's proof that he did it.
yeah. So we'll see if a team signs him or not. Like I said, I doubt it. He's gonna be having some fun vacation time with his good old pal Earl Thomas. So
Yep.
they can spend some time reminiscing about the Legion of Boom together. Um, so yeah. Next thing that I thought was really cool, that was announced earlier today, that Eli Manning and Peyton Manning will now be doing commentary for the Monday Night Football, but they will be doing it on ESPN2. Do you think that this will, I guess if they do well enough, obviously, but do you think it will lead into them taking over the Monday Night Football role, like in the future? Like they'll be the lead guys?
Right now, it's is it Joe Buck and Troy Aikman do the Sunday night, right?
Correct, yeah.
And then it's Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth that do Monday night.
Isn't it Booger McFarland? Doesn't he do it?
Yeah, he's on there too,
But
but
no,
he's kind
he's
of
like
like
an
the side
actual
commentator.
commentator, though.
He's a side commentator. He's not like the main commentator.
I thought he was last year.
Did they move him up?
I thought they did because they got rid of Witten and then they put him up there. I thought.
His real name's John. That's funny.
Well, while you're looking that up, my thoughts about Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, I think it could potentially be really awesome. Like, I feel like, if Peyton can get some stuff out of Eli, because Eli is known for kind of just being that, you know, straight tone, always the same facial expression, like the same everything. Like he's kind of like the Tim Duncan of the NFL. So if Peyton can kind of get some stuff out of him, maybe them talking about stuff when they were playing or when they were kids. I mean, I think it could be potentially like really good, and I could see them moving up to the main host of Monday Night Football instead of ESPN2. So I think this has potential for them as long as it succeeds and does well, that they'll take over the main spot for sure. Because I think everybody loves Peyton Manning, and he had his own ESPN Plus special, so obviously, the fans will gravitate towards them. Were you able to find out who it was?
Yeah. So McFarland is actually a color analyst. He's not in the booth.
I thought for sure one of the years he was. Maybe I was wrong on that. Because I thought they got rid of Jason Witten and I thought they put him up there. But
Yeah. So Jason Witten was the color analyst.
yeah.
Um, but then I don't know if he's in the booth or not. He likes actually being down on the field. So I don't know. Let me look at Monday Night Football. I'm just looking at Booger McFarland. So yeah,
So
Booger Mobile.
Booker Mobile. um but yeah, I think potentially that could be really good. They've been trying to find people to make up for Monday Night Football ever since it was John Madden and was it Pat, right? Pat Summerall? No. Who was it? Who was the famous Monday Night Football duo? It was John Madden and
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels. There we go.
Yeah.
Ever since then, they've been trying to, get someone as good as them too, and they never have. I mean, heck, they've put Gruden up there at one point. So yeah, I just think they haven't really found a good combination for Monday Night Football yet. So because the other one for Sunday Night Football, it's Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth.
That's right.
For
Monday
Sunday.
Night Football is was Mike Tirico. It's Brian Greasy and Louis Riddick right now.
Well, yeah, they announced that at the end of last year. I think they said that that's who they were going to go with for this year, and they were going to try it out.
Booger McFarland did 2018 to 2019.
So I was right. He was up there.
Yeah. So studio host Chris Berman. They have the studio analysts, sideline reporters. Yeah. Huh.
Well, what do you think about Peyton and Eli, though?
I think it's going to be awesome because Peyton brings smarter, I think. I think he knows more about the game than Tony Romo did. Like, that's why his forehead got so big. It just stored every play he ever saw. Every play he ever saw, every defense he ever saw, just stored, and his forehead just kept getting bigger and bigger. But I think it's going to be like Peyton Manning kind of getting into it, doing his stupid dancing that he doesn't know how to do, like he does on the nationwide commercials or the whatever commercials it is that he does. But yeah, like it's going to be him having a good time and Eli going, "Yep." So players are now they're in a Y set. He's going to run the ball to the left. Yep. Tackled by Ray Lewis.
Oh shoot. Well, that'll be fun. I mean, first Monday night game. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch them and see how they do. Like,
right? Same here.
I'm gonna watch it on ESPN too. So we'll see for the ratings who has better ratings. Going forward for it. So hopefully they're not a big flop like Jason Witten was. He was a big old flop. It was not good. at all. So
was Gronkowski.
oh yeah, that was god awful too.
Like Gronkowski, dude, I couldn't get over the fact that the dude didn't blink when he was talking. Super big eyes, just staring. Yeah, so this is what the players are doing. And, dude, just blink, 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 please. Your eyes are gonna pop out your head.
Well, talking about Gronk going to the Bucks and everything, the Buccaneers, released a statement saying that Tom Brady had played the entire season with a torn MCL.
Partially torn.
Huh?
Partially torn.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how much of that is really true. I mean, if you have like a torn MCL, your season should be done. And every time he takes a hit, you would think that would just destroy him.
Oh, it would hurt like hell. I've torn my MCL, ACL, and meniscus, and it's just not fun. Like any of them tear, it hurts like hell.
Well, I mean, are they trying to just put more on him being a goat? Is that why they're doing it? Or, is there more to it? Or like what's the point of even releasing that? Like who cares? They won the Super Bowl. So like if they lost and then they say, well, Tom Brady played on a torn MCL the whole year. That's why they lost. Like, I could understand that more so, but they won. So I mean, who cares?
So it was because the NFL found out about it and they forced them to actually release the statement on it.
Mm.
And the Bucks, Bruce Arians, Tom Brady might all actually be in trouble for it because they never once put him on the injury report. They never put him as questionable.
Yeah.
And they knew he was playing with the injury.
Yeah.
So they can actually be in a lot of trouble for that.
I was gonna say I know the 1 year for the Rams when they didn't report Todd Gurley being injured, the Rams got in a lot of trouble for that year with his knee. So I would think that the Tampa Bay Bucks are in a similar situation then.
Yeah.
Alrighty, fair enough. Well, I know they're trying to analysts and stuff are just like, look at how well Tom Brady played. He had an MVP like season with a torn MCL. So how well will he do when he's like healthy? And it's just like I'm kind of done with it. I'm just like whatever. Like they already won, and you don't need to make his excuse me. You don't need to, thank you. Don't need to like try to build up his legacy anymore. Like you don't need more storylines on top of more storylines. So, alrighty. Well, let's see. The other thing that I was going to talk about, I'm trying to find it. We had posted it on our Facebook page today.
Melvin Ingram.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead. You can go right into it.
Yeah, Melvin Ingram from the Chargers. He's a defensive lineman. He was asking for a little too much money from teams, so teams weren't even like bringing him in for a workout. And then his agent decided, okay, we'll do a 1-year prove it thing, just because he was good his first couple of years with the Chargers, but then the last couple of years he hasn't been that great. But he ended up signing a 1-year prove it deal for I think it was like $4.5 million with the Steelers.
Yeah, so I mean, Steelers doing their normal, we love defense, and they had a pretty good defense last year. Is that defense enough to be able to help them in their woes that they have on offense?
No, absolutely not.
No.
Thanks, dude, like their best defensive or their best offensive linemen, 2 of them retired, and they didn't replace them. They didn't go out and get somebody else.
Yeah,
like they're just next man up, and they're not going to protect Ben Roethlisberger. Like, no. And Juju Smith-Schuster has just pissed everybody off around the league, so teams are going to be targeting him.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just no. Like they have a great defense. with like TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick. You know, they have a fantastic defense, but it's not going to be enough. You can't have so you have to have a balance. You see the teams that actually win, like the Bucks. I think they were like number 12 offensively all year, and then they were like number 9 or 10 in defense. You know, you can't have the team that, and they won. You can't have a team that's number 1 in offense and number 32 in defense, or opposite. You know, number 1 defense, but you have like a bottom 10 defense or offense. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work. Like, you have to have that balance to be able to actually win. Like, yeah, you're going to win games, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl like that, because when you start playing the elite teams that made it to the playoffs, you're going to lose.
Yeah, true. Very true. So, I definitely agree. I don't think it's enough for them to be able to get past the Ravens or the Browns, to be honest. Especially with the way that the Browns have stacked their team in the offseason. They're kind of going all in right now. Um, well, to wrap things up, I guess, and to kind of talk about my team a little bit, and then if anything that you want to add in, you definitely can. The Rams revealed their throwback jerseys that they're going to do for this year. I actually am really excited about it. I kind of like how they turned out. I like the old school look that it has. So definitely going to be maybe rocking a Stafford jersey with the throwback, or maybe because I already have a Donald jersey, so I don't know, maybe a Jalen jersey. I already have a Cooper Cup jersey too, so I don't know. We'll see, or maybe if one of the rookies stands out and becomes really good, maybe go for one of the rookies. I know they're really hyping up Cam Akers at running back, so hopefully he's going to have a big second year in the league. And especially with Whitworth, Andrew Whitworth basically saying it's Super Bowl or bust for him. This is his last year, so and I feel bad that he didn't get his Super Bowl when they went against the Patriots a couple years ago. So hopefully they can get it done this year and get him a Super Bowl before he calls it quits, because I mean he's one of the all time great offensive linemen, so it'd be cool to give him his due. I always felt bad for like was it Joe Thomas for when he was playing for the Browns. He was such a good offensive lineman, and the Browns just like stunks so badly, and then now the Browns are doing good after he retires. So but yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Just excited about the Rams revealing that throwback jersey. So excited for that.
So speaking of the Rams, Jalen Ramsey actually did an interview, and he was asked who the top 5 corners are in the league and who the top 3 receivers are. So I don't remember the corners, but the receivers, he said number 1, hands down, D Hop, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
And number 2 was Odell Beckham,
Wow.
and number 3 was Julio Jones. The reason that he had Odell Beckham and Julio Jones up there was because they're extremely strong route running, and they're just handsy, like amazing hands. You know, and this is coming from one of the best lockdown corners in the league today. Like Jalen Ramsey's probably like top 2, I would say, up there with probably Stephon Gilmore.
Yep.
Honestly,
That's
like,
what I would say. Yeah.
yeah. So I have a lot of respect for Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, he talks a lot of smack, but dude's damn good. You know, and I hated that he went to the Rams instead of the Raiders. But he's doing good things with the Rams as well. Um, it's something that I kind of wanted to throw on the Facebook page as well. Is do any of our fans actually agree with that? That DeAndre Hopkins number 1, Odell Beckham number 2, Julio Jones number 3. I thought it was a really good thing. His reasoning for DeAndre Hopkins is because DeAndre Hopkins catches everything that's thrown at him, and he's put up 1,000-yard seasons every year he's been in the league, and he's done it with like 50 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, that is very true. Gosh, yeah. Uh, I'm trying to think who my top three would be. I would definitely say DeAndre Hopkins is number one. I mean, what was the one year he didn't drop a single pass?
Yeah,
Like every pass that went at him, he caught.
yeah, and that wasn't even with a good quarterback. I think that was with like Tom, whatever the hell his name is, Tom Savage.
Like that's just nuts. Like it's just absolutely nuts to not have a single drop pass. So yeah, I would say definitely he's number one. Gosh, man, there's so many good top wide receivers out there too. It's kind of hard to like nail down. It's not like quarterbacks, where it's just like you definitely know like who the top quarterbacks are in the league. I almost want to throw Michael Thomas out there. Like he's just such a big target, and we'll see now that he doesn't have Drew Brees how good of a wide receiver he is. But him and Drew Brees had a special connection, so I would like to say he's probably number three. Number two, man, oh man, trying to if you have a top three, you can go ahead and chime in while I'm thinking about my number two. There's just like so many to go through.
So my disagreement with his number three is Julio Jones. Like Julio Jones he's a great receiver, but he's been injury prone his entire career. I don't think he's ever played a full season. He usually misses like 1 or 2 games every year. And I mean, he's still putting up 1,000-yard seasons. The dude's a beast. He's huge, he's fast, and he's solid. But I couldn't put him at number three. Like,
Yeah.
after his rookie year, I would have put him at number one. But yeah, D Hop, number one, hands down. Like, there's nobody in the league like him. It's insane how good he is. I would say probably number two for me would be what the hell's his name? The dude that went from the Vikings to the Bills.
Oh yeah. Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. I'd put him number two, honestly. Like, I think he's that good. Like, I mean, he comes into the Bills and the whole team's just flipped. Like they went from like an 8-8 team to they almost made the damn Super Bowl. Like,
True.
and then for me, number three is Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
I hate saying it.
Oh.
But Tyreek Hill, like, not only is that dude, he is who I hope Henry Ruggs turns into. Like, fastest dude in the league, but he goes after the balls. He catches balls. Like, the dude is an all-out athlete.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I'd put him number three.
Man, now that you mentioned that, I actually have my top three now. So my top three would be number one would be DeAndre Hopkins. Number two would be Stephon Diggs. And number three would be Davante Adams. That is a machine. He's a beast. So that would be my top three, for sure. Because I totally forgot about Stephon Diggs. He goes to another team and he still blows it up just as well as he did when he was with the Vikings. So and Davante Adams, yeah, he's a machine. Again, if no Aaron Rodgers, we'll see how good of a wide receiver he actually is, kind of like Michael Thomas. But yeah, cool. Well, I'm gonna post that as soon as we get done with this. I'll post it on our Facebook page and see what people say. I'll post the three people that Jalen picked, and I'll put like pictures of them and see what everybody thinks their top three is. So I'll post that right after this. Anything else that we need to add in before we wrap things up?
No, just one of the things that so I'm bouncing at a bar, and Saturday night, like at 11:30, So we close at 1, but it was like 11 to 11:30. About 75 girls come in. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? They come in with like this championship trophy, and I'm like, what is going on? It was actually like there is a women's football league that needs to get some attention. There's 8 teams. There's 4 Atlantic, 4 Pacific teams. Utah has one, the Utah Falcons. There's like San Diego, there's Vegas and Seattle, and then there's the Atlantic side. I don't remember what all the teams are. Anyway, San Diego was the biggest underdog going into it. Utah like destroyed every team that they faced, like by 30 plus points. Like it was insane. So all these girls that came in, they were on the San Diego team, and they had actually come to Utah to play for the Pacific Championship, and they won. They beat Utah. None of the players had ever beaten Utah. I guess this league's been going on for a few years, and it's full on football, like regular football, but it's a women's league, like full pads, tackle, like it's pretty awesome. And just seeing like the happiness that those girls had, like it was awesome to see. And I just wanted to kind of give them a shout out that, hey, great job. Good luck in the Pacific, or in the what they call their Super Bowl. It's their championship game, where because they won the Pacific, they have to play the winners of the Atlantic team. They play in Texas on the 7th. So throw a shout out there, and yeah, good luck, guys. Good luck, ladies.
Man, awesome. What a cool shout out. I love that. That's awesome. Well, yeah, good luck to them. Then that would be cool to watch, like if they had it like on like TV or something. So
Right?
that would be
Hopefully it gets bigger.
hopefully, yeah. Quick shout out for me to Conor McGregor's leg. Hope 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 you get better, dude, and you can come back and fight again. Now that he's lost, I feel like there's kind of a downhill for his hype. So, but the funny part is, before the fight in the interviews, Conor McGregor said that Poirier would be leaving in a stretcher and that he was going to kill him. And then after McGregor broke his leg, he had to go out in a stretcher. They took him out in a stretcher. So the irony is ridiculous. But yeah, that was an interesting thing. So just a little shout out to him. And then as always, we wrap up our show with our announcement of our favorite person.
Earl Thomas, still not signed. Dude needs to just announce retirement.
And him and Richard Sherman can share some iced tea together and reminisce.
They'll sit on their back patio around a fire, smoking a cigar, drinking some iced tea, and just be like, well, we were good once.
we had that good run, so well, awesome. Well, appreciate all the fans, all the listeners. You know where to check us out on Facebook and on YouTube. So keep sharing, keep subscribing and liking. We appreciate all the listens as always. And until next time, we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Later.
Peace.